can we take a moment to appreciate how cute this mug is? Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. A long time no see, but it feels good to be sitting here filming today. Can we also just take a moment of appreciation for my mug? Look how cute that is. I love anything with like H's on it and stuff like that, and I'm a huge Disney fan, so this is just like the perfect mug for me, and my sister got it for me, so I love that. But today's video is something that, when I say has been in the works for years, it definitely has. Today I'm going to be talking about my experience with getting lip filler for the first time. I am going to throw out a disclaimer just before we get started. You know, this isn't for everybody. You know, injectables and cosmetic procedures and things like that, it's not to everyone's taste, and that's absolutely fine. If it's not for you, just click out. It's not for everyone. It's something that I've wanted done for absolutely ages, and I'm so glad I did it. But you do not have to alter the way that you look. Everyone is beautiful in their own way. I just felt it was something that I wanted to do to make myself feel better, and that is absolutely fine. So let's go back a couple of years. I want to say, honestly, when I was probably like 8 or 9, I have always been quite conscious of the fact that I had no upper lip. And I distinctly remember this one time, I was at my nan and my granddad's house, and my nan would always have a full face of makeup on, like every time I saw her. And I was going through her makeup bag and I saw this lipstick, and I remember it was in like a black tube, and it was white. It was completely white. And I put it on my lips because I read that it was a plumping lipstick, so there was no colour in it, it was just there to kind of plump your lips. And I remember that she went absolutely mental at me. She really told me off for using it, but it was something that I just remember looking at her saying, I want big lips. So it's something that has kind of always been in my mind, this kind of thought. And then as I grew up, I kind of got over that, and it never really bothered me. We would always kind of make jokes about it in my house. My mum's side of the family is Irish, and you know, we would always say, that's the Irish, you know, no upper lip. It's something that we would all kind of joke about. And then as I kind of got into my late teens, early 20s, it was a thought that kind of came back to the front of my mind. I don't know if it was, you know, through watching reality stars and things like that, I'm not really sure. But I always thought it was one of those things, quite like tattoos. I love the idea of tattoos. I think tattoos on other people are absolutely stunning, and I would love quite a few. I know exactly what I would have, where I would have them all, but I know for a fact I will never get them done. I don't know why I know that. I don't know why I know that, I just know it's not for me. I'm scared of the pain, I'm scared that I might change my mind, I'm quite indecisive. You know, so maybe in like 10 years time I might, you know, hate them all. So I know that like it's just not for me, and I always thought that kind of lip filler would be that. It would be that thing that I really want, but it's not for me, I'm not going to get. It looks nice on other people, but it's just not for me. And then fast forward to, I think it was actually Christmas Day, 2020, and after a couple of glasses, maybe bottles of Prosecco, I booked an appointment. And I had been looking at this person for a while who I wanted to do it, and the reason I chose this professional is because, number one, I actually know her. We went to school together, she was in my sister's year. Number two, she's a qualified nurse, so she knows all about, you know, the muscles and the arteries and kind of the anatomy of the lip and the mouth. And also she has an amazing kind of like portfolio, I guess. I know people that have gone to her and they've got great results. She's got, you know, a really good client base that can vouch for her work as well. So there was a lot of different elements. I definitely did spend quite a lot of time prior to booking the appointment, you know, looking into it, you know, if I was to get lip filler, who would I have do it and things like that. And that's something I will say, you know, if it is something that you are thinking about, definitely do your research, because it's a huge deal and you need to make sure that you are going to somebody who is reputable and knows what they're doing. Sometimes that might mean that you pay a little bit more, but you definitely get what you pay for. So yeah, I booked an appointment for the 18th of March, and then I was like, yeah, this is months away, we're still in a lockdown, but it'll be fine by then. and of course it wasn't. So unfortunately the procedure never went ahead. I never made it to the appointment, but I rescheduled it for the 3rd of June. And when I say I booked an appointment, it was a consultation because I wanted to make sure that I was 100% comfortable. I wanted to, you know, speak to the nurse that was going to be doing it, and, you know, so she could see my lips, make sure she was happy to do it and that it was something she could definitely do. I wasn't sure on the amount that I wanted. I was pretty sure I was going to go for 0.5, just, you know, start off small and build up slowly. But I wanted to make sure that that was the right amount for me as well. And just, you know, she does this for a living. Is it going to suit my face? You can tell me up front, yes or no, is it going to suit me? Because if not, and it's going to make me look weird, then I don't want it. So I had that consultation appointment on the 3rd of June. And she was like, yeah, this is absolutely fine, we can go ahead with that. She did advise that because my lips were quite small, that 0.5 would be the maximum that she would feel happy putting in, and it might take a couple of sessions to get my desired look. I was more than happy with that because I didn't want to kind of go from 0 to 100 and for it to not be right. Then fast forward a week later and I had my appointment. So that was on the 10th. So I did everything that I was told to do. So I stopped drinking alcohol 2 days before, I stopped working out 2 days before, and I also cut out caffeine 2 days before. And the reason they say to cut out all of those is just to minimise any excess bruising and swelling and bleeding. Out of all of those, I would say that the hardest thing was the caffeine. I drink about 4 caffeinated drinks a day, and that's probably without any Diet Coke as well. So I do have quite a lot of caffeine in my diet, and the withdrawal symptoms of that were absolutely horrendous. Like the headaches were unlike anything I'd had before. So I do mention that in the vlog footage that I've shot, but I do really want to emphasise that if you are somebody that does drink a lot of caffeine and you're thinking of having lip filler, do bear that in mind because it's something that I've never really heard spoken about. I did a lot of research prior to my appointment. I watched a lot of videos, and yeah, it was just something that I was not prepared for. The alcohol and no exercise was absolutely fine because I would just go for like little light walks and things like that. It wasn't an issue, but the caffeine definitely was a problem. Fast forward to the 10th of June and I go to my appointment and I am nervous because I don't know how I'm going to react to this. Is it going to look good? Am I going to like it? You know, it's changing my face, it's changing the way I look, and I've wanted this for so long and I just didn't really want to be like disappointed with the results if it wasn't how I thought I was going to look. So I sat down and the nurse comes out and she put my numbing cream on. And I think that was probably the worst thing because out of like the whole procedure, because I just couldn't feel anything, and that is the whole point. I get it, it's numbing, but my mouth started like dripping. Literally, my mouth was watering. Like I literally had spit coming down and I had to keep like dabbing it because I didn't want to wipe the cream off. So I kept dabbing it, and then a bit went on my tongue, so my tongue was numb, and it was just an ordeal. Luckily there was no one else in the waiting room while I had that on because I really, you know, no one needed to see me like that. It was terrible. And then she took me into the room and she was asking me some questions, just, you know, kind of going over some of the risks and just making sure that I was, you know, definitely still 100% happy to go through the procedure. She did, when I went for my consultation, go through any risks and kind of how it would all work and, you know, the type of filler and the type of filler that she would be using. So she just kind of emphasised that again and made sure that I was all comfortable. And as she's asking me these questions, I've still got this numbing cream on, so I was kind of talking like this because I didn't want to move my mouth too much in case more of the numbing cream went in there, because I just couldn't feel anything. So it was quite funny. It was quite an ordeal. It was quite funny. Probably the worst part of the procedure for me, in my opinion. The actual process itself of the needling and the injecting took probably about 10 minutes. It was not long at all. And the nurse that I had, I don't know if I want to name her or not, just because she does work really like close to where I live and stuff. But she was so lovely. She pointed to exactly where she was going to inject every time, so I knew, you know, kind of where the needle was going to be. She also made sure that I shut my eyes before I saw the needle, so I never ever saw it. Not like I really have a problem with needles or anything like that, but I definitely think that helped by not seeing it. I think that would have made me nervous, like more nervous than I already was. But yeah, every time she injected, she was saying sorry. She was like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. But honestly, it didn't hurt like as much as I thought it was going to. I've spoken to people that have had it before. One of my friends, Lauren's, had it done a couple of times, and she said it really doesn't hurt as much as you think. And my nurse described it really well. She said it's like you've got a spot on the corner of your lip and you go to pop it. And I was like, that is exactly what it feels like. But we started on the left side of my top lip by my Cupid's bow and then worked all the way out. And then we did the right side, started at the Cupid's bow and worked all the way out. And then by that point the needle had got a little bit blunt, so she just changed that over and did the bottom lip. So all in all I had 0.5 mil. It's so bad I actually cannot remember the type of filler that she used. If I get the name I will insert it on the screen, but I'm not 100% sure what one she used. But it was absolutely fine. I definitely think the bottom lip hurt for me more than the top, which she said normally it is the other way around, but I found that the bottom lip, particularly here in the bottom right side, definitely hurt the most, and that is actually where I had most of the bruising. So I've had, my appointment was just over 2 weeks ago, so they are fully healed now, but that was definitely where I found that I had the most bruising, was the whole of my right side, but particularly the bottom, which you'll see in the clips anyway. But yeah, after that she kind of cleaned me up. I was bleeding quite a lot, not like an alarming amount, but I was bleeding, so she just compressed that and made sure that she was happy for me to leave. We took some before and after photos, and it was really good because I could see side by side, because I obviously had completely forgotten what they looked like before, and I loved them. Like the minute I saw them I was like, yes, I knew I'd made the right decision, and I regret waiting so long to have them done because, as I said, little 8-9-year-old Hannah, you know, it was something that she knew she was quite insecure about, so I'm definitely glad that I did that. And I have booked in for a top-up appointment for another 0.5 mil on the 21st of August, so we'll see how that goes. I don't know if I want to see, maybe if we could put a little bit more in, maybe 0.7, I'm not really sure, but yeah, I have already booked to go back because I have the bug. So what I did, I filmed some footage before and after the procedure, and then the following days as well, just so that you could see how they were healing. You'll see from the clips that I don't think I really had much swelling. I think I just got quite a bit of bruising, which is what I wanted, because you can cover up the bruising quite well with like lipstick and stuff, whereas the swelling I was quite worried that it was going to just take over my face, but I got quite lucky. Hopefully next time I'll be just as lucky and it will just be some bruising that I get, but I hope you enjoy the footage. So today's the day. I'm finally getting my lips done after wanting them done for so long. It's currently just before 1, my appointment's at 2, so I'm just gonna get ready and go, but I thought I'd do a little kind of like before of my lips. This is also the outfit of the day that we're working with, so just these pink trousers from Primark and a little black vest top tucked in, but I'll show you my lips now. This is kind of the before shot. So I really want my Cupid's bow to stay quite accented and to kind of have that enhanced, and then I just want some in my lower corners here. I'm going for 0.5, so the smallest amount, but yeah, hopefully it does make a difference. Let's go! So this is my lips about 10 minutes after I've had them done. They are really sore at the top, they are incredibly swollen, but I am absolutely obsessed with them. I love them and I'm so happy with how they've come out. Did not hurt as much as I thought it did. I'd be lying if I said you couldn't feel it, because you can, but it's almost like when you get your eyebrows threaded, like it's a bearable pain. So yeah, I'm super happy with them. I'm interested to see how they develop over the next couple of days, but of course I'll be documenting that for you guys. So yeah, super happy. We had 0.5 put in, most of it on the top because that was kind of my problem area that I really wanted focusing on, but she did inject a little bit in the bottom as well, of course, to even them out. So yeah, super happy. It's been about 4 hours since I've had them done and I'm experiencing a lot of tenderness at the top. I did have pizza for dinner. Very rookie mistake. I ate it with a knife and fork and it took an exceptionally long time. I do have some slight bruising just underneath, but nothing like what I think is too substantial. I'm extremely tired. I've done everything I can to minimise the swelling and bruising, so that did mean no caffeine. So I'm exceptionally tired, but I've read not to have a nap for 4 hours afterwards. And to sleep on your back, which is fine, I do that anyway, so that's not going to be a problem. But yeah, I'm really happy with them. I kind of feel like I don't really want them to get any smaller. So I might have to like already think about booking in, but I really like them. I don't want them to get any smaller. I'm really happy with them at this size, but I'm looking forward to seeing how they progress. But yeah, it's just the top outer corners, which is the area that I had most of the filler in anyway, so yeah. So this is them, as you can see. So super natural. As you can see, I do have quite a fair bit of bruising here, but I am really happy with them. I think that they look really natural, which is what I wanted. I didn't want people to look at me and be like, oh, you've had your lips done, you know. So yeah, really happy with them, and I don't think they're gonna bruise much more, I don't think, because I think we're already, you know, a good couple of hours into after the procedure time, so hopefully they won't bruise. I don't think they are that swollen. Oh my god, if you could hear my tummy. I don't actually think they're that swollen. I think they are more bruised. Out of the side effects, I think I have more bruising than I do swelling, which is nice if they stay this kind of shape. I don't really want them to drop too much more than this. But yeah, I love them. So I don't think there's been much difference between the last up close video that I showed you. That this is them. This is them. I'm starting to like just fall in love with them more and more, like that I look at them. I'm also trying not to like, not that I would be smiling, I'm home alone, but like smiling and things like that. I'm trying to stop doing that as much just because I don't want to stretch them out. I don't know if that makes a difference, I'm not really sure, but this is them. Super happy with them still. Good morning guys. So this is the lip situation. So last night they were really sore. I almost felt like someone had just like punched me. They are not sore anymore, but as you can see there is some slight bruising on this half of my lips, which is fine. That's kind of where it was hurting last night, but I'm still super happy with them, obviously. It's quite hard to like move them still. They do feel just a little bit funny. I know people have said that they don't feel like your lips, but yeah, it just feels like a little bit tight. So I'm still very conscious of my movements and stuff. I've been drinking a lot of water, applying my arnica oils, things like that. Still no caffeine, which I'm finding really difficult, to be fair. I never thought caffeine would make a difference to me, but it definitely has. I'm currently on day 3 of no caffeine and I can't drink any until tomorrow, which will be 48 hours after the appointment time. So I'm doing it all properly, no exercise or anything like that. I'm gonna go for a walk later because I know you can walk, but it's obviously, you know, really not to get your heart rate too elevated. So I'm gonna take it easy and see. It would have been about 24 hours after that point anyway from the appointment yesterday, so hopefully it will be okay. But yeah, I am super happy with them. I think they look really nice. I'll just do a little bit of a close-up so you can see a little bit closer what they look like. I'm really conscious that this whole vlog is just like the same angle, but it is what it is. So this is now a couple of hours after I last checked in this morning. It's coming up to lunchtime, so I'll be interested to see if eating will be a little bit easier. So just to talk about that a little bit more, last night I had a pizza and it was about 3 hours after I had the actual appointment, so I thought I would be okay. It wasn't too painful, it was just incredibly slow. I felt like I couldn't really open my mouth, and I was just very conscious I didn't want to, like, you know, push things in, so I used a knife and a fork, and it was a little bit slower than what I normally would do. But it was okay, and then it started to hurt kind of up here, which I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but this is definitely the biggest side for swelling. So they do look a little bit, not asymmetrical at all, but like there's definitely been more trauma up here, which is fine. That's where most of the bruising is anyway. I've taken some arnica tablets, and the nurse did give me some lip balm with arnica oil in it as well, so I've been dabbing that on. That is extremely painful to do, so I've been dabbing it instead of obviously wiping it. What else? Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. The only thing that I'm really struggling with here, I don't want to cover up the microphone, the only thing that I've found the most difficult, and it's not something that I've seen talked about at all, it's the withdrawal symptoms of caffeine. So I drink about 3 to 4 caffeinated drinks a day, and then sometimes I might have a can of like Diet Coke on top of that. So I do drink a fair amount of caffeine, and my appointment was on a Thursday. So Wednesday morning I woke up and I had 1 caffeinated tea, and I've been on decaf ever since, and it is now Friday afternoon at like 1 PM. So I've been pretty much 48 hours no caffeine, just like cold turkey stopped, and I'm finding that incredibly difficult. Like my headache is horrendous, but I don't really want to take paracetamol or anything like that, just because I try and avoid tablets if I don't need them. So that for me is probably the biggest thing. So if you are an avid caffeine drinker, do bear that in mind. On saying that though, I do know people that have had caffeine, you know, before the 48-hour mark. I'm just somebody, you know, want to do it by the book, just as this is my first time. So that's something that I would say to bear in mind. Like if you are a caffeine if you are a caffeine person, it's hard. Yeah, other than that, I'm incredibly happy. Everyone's like, my mum and dad, every time they walk past me, they're like, let me see it, and they're like, it's so natural, it looks really nice. I've just spoken to the nurse as well who did them, and she was like, I hope it's not too bad. So yeah, really happy with them. It does still feel a little bit tight in the outer corners, but hopefully that will start to subside as we go along. I also am absolutely desperate for a glass of wine tonight, but obviously I won't until whenever. But yeah, that is the latest, and yeah, super happy still. I'll do a close-up as well so that you guys can see kind of what it looks like. Also, there are a few other things you can do for the swelling. So the things that I did ahead of my appointment, and what I'm continuing to do now, is no alcohol for 48 hours before or after, no strenuous exercise before or after, and no caffeine, obviously, we just spoke about. You can obviously, you know, when you've had them done, ice them. I didn't put any ice on them yesterday, so I don't think they look too bad considering I didn't do that. I just didn't have any ice indoors, so that's always something else that you could do. That's the precautions that I've taken, and I'm happy with what I've done. But yeah, I'm super excited. So it's now Friday. I don't really have anything going on tomorrow, which will be day 2 really. Day 3, which is Sunday, I've got an afternoon tea, so I'll be very interested to see how that goes. I'm hoping it will be fine, because I would have, like, it's still a few days away, so I'm guessing that will be fine. I don't think they'll be too swollen. That will be the first time that I will put makeup on and like lipstick and things like that, so I'll definitely document that for you guys so that you can see. But yeah, other than that, I'm really happy, and super glad that I did it, and just kind of sitting there thinking, why didn't I do it sooner? But here we go. I'm also going to film the intro for this video, the actual sit down part of it, possibly tomorrow, just so that you guys can see. Oh, I'm tired. See, the lack of caffeine is just hitting me. I'm shattered, but yeah. So I do appreciate that all of the angles in these vlog type clips is exactly the same. pretty much is going to be the same for this video really, but I don't know if you can see just how dry they are. It is pretty much on the bottom lip, just a bit annoying more than anything because I kind of want to bite the skin. I know that sounds really gross, I kind of want to go like that, but again I'm very cautious that that's going to hurt, so not doing that. But yeah, still super happy with them. I'm interested to see how tomorrow goes. So it's been over 24 hours and no pain really, just tightness I would say is kind of the only real thing. But as I said, I don't know if that's me just being a bit too cautious and not moving them too much. What a weird angle. Okay, I'm off. Hi guys, so today is day 3 since I've had my lips done. It's now Sunday. I had them done on Thursday, which I think makes it, yeah, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, day 3. This is the first time that I've worn makeup with my lips, and it's really just made me fall in love with them even more. So I do have quite a bit of, still quite a bit of bruising on the right hand side of my lips, both upper and lower, but predominantly the lower lip. I'm going to do a close-up just so you can see what they look like with no makeup on, like no lipstick, and then I'm going to put lipstick on, so I'll show you what that looks like as well. But yeah, super happy with them. They still tingle with a little bit of pain every now and again, but nothing like too strenuous or anything like that. So yeah, I probably will not film too much more because I didn't film anything yesterday because it just didn't change, and I don't think they're going to change or get worse or anything like that. So this will probably be the last kind of vlog type clip, as I said, unless something drastic happens with them, which I can't see happening. So I'll just do a couple of close-ups just so you guys can see. But I hope it's been helpful. I've started drinking caffeine again and I feel like a whole new person. Like my headaches have gone. Caffeine withdrawals, probably definitely the hardest part about the whole thing, because if you're like me and you drink a lot of it, it is tough. But yeah. Okay, so I do have a slight bit of foundation on my lips, but as you can see, that is still just a slight bit of bruising, nothing too bad at all, nothing that I'm like worried about or anything like that. It stayed on my lip, it's not come onto my face or anything like that, so yeah. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!